Good morning. It's bright and early. Welcome to the Friday Lights Camera Cleveland edition of Tennessee Valley This Morning. Rob Alderman picks a topic. Are you ready?
Ready.
Go.
Yesterday was National High Five Day. How many people did you high five?
6.
Really?
Yeah.
You counted it?
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go?
It was okay. I had one of my coworkers, Dana Williams, kind of did a distance one because she was kind of bummed out about some stuff. And so
Not an actual five?
Yeah, like she was like...
That doesn't count, so you high five.
So it's like,
people.
Can we say 5.5? Because she
That's
at least
fair.
she tried, but she didn't really pull it off.
Well, I started my high five, the Revive the Five tour early yesterday morning, and I started in the downtown area by the courthouse. I high-fived me some Mayor Rowland, and high-fived me some Gary Davis. I high-fived me some Matt Ryerson, high-fived me some Matt Carlson, some Alan Mincy. I was fiving, my way down.
Beecher Hunter often tells me that name dropping is uncouth.
I'm not done.
Okay.
High-five Forrest Preston, high-five Johnny Holden, high-fived Gary Farlow. I've run out of important people in town. I guess we got 6 important people in town. You took Beecher. We got a good show coming up for you today. We're going to have some big news. Aaron Weatherford is here to talk about the chamber. Did you?
Yeah.
You high-fived Aaron Weatherford?
You know who else I high-fived?
Minus 1 5.
I high-fived Annie from Habitat for Humanity.
Minus 2 5s. They're going to be on the show coming up. And we got some news. We got some preview reviews. Very special guests. Things like that. All this and more coming up on Tennessee Valley This Morning.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning. I am the Hollywood Slinky. With me, as always, except for last week, my stalwart traveling companion, except for when we're not traveling, Rob Alderman.
Indeed, and it's time for
the big news.
I'm not going to lie to you, Camera One. The big news today comes from the same place it always comes from, which is that elegant, beautiful, always true Cleveland Daily Banner, delivered directly to my front yard via someone. I've never actually met my paper boy. Could be a paper girl, paper man, I don't know. But they throw it in my yard. I pick up that paper, I open it up, and these are the headlines. This is what Cleveland is talking about, and we bring it to you.
This is what I love about the Banner. You know, they really live by those 3 words: accuracy, timeliness, and portability.
I don't even know what you're saying today.
Words. They emerge from my mouth.
Before we get into the news.
Sure.
I want to say that your haircut is beautiful.
Thank you. I'm a very handsome man.
It's above the ears. It's very, very nice. Looks good. What was the why? Why the change suddenly? The sudden change in looks. You were already devastatingly handsome.
Well, this is true. This is true. No, to be honest, what happened is the director of public relations at Life Care Centers of America, Lee Michaels, came to me and she said, "I saw wedding photos of you. Your hair was very long. It looked really good. I liked it." And I was like, "Yeah, that can't happen."
So you cut it off.
So I cut it.
Well, in local news, the Cleveland Daily Banner says at the top, number 1 thing we want to talk about right now is that Johnny McDaniel urges the passage of the wheel tax.
Oh my.
We have been talking about this wheel tax, Slinky, since this show began. There's some people for it. There's some people against it. But now, Cleveland, you can add in the for it column Superintendent of Schools Johnny McDaniel. County schools.
Isn't it interesting how when these folks had an opportunity to be decisive, they were all like, "We're going to let the people decide." And now that they've decided to let the people decide, now they're all coming out of the woodwork, starting to pick sides.
Well, I would say this. In general, we all know that the wheel tax is going to fund our schools, so I don't think it's really surprising that Johnny McDaniel urges people to
But it is not just him. It is not just him.
Who else? Who else is coming out?
I'm not going to name names because they might end up guests on our show, and then how am I going to hard-nosed journalist them on the spot?
In other news, and this is going to be, we're going to talk about this a little bit more in detail coming up, but Habitat for Humanity pedals towards Bike to Build.
Wow, that sounds exciting.
Well, it is exciting. Exciting enough that we're actually going to have Miss Annie from the Habitat on our show today to talk about Bike to Build, why it's important.
How fortuitous.
I will tell you that I used to believe that what you did was at these events that you actually built bikes. So I was thinking that you it was a big thing where you got together and built some bicycles, but that, believe it or not, that's not true.
That is not what they do.
In other news, locally, the Lee University women win the SSAC golf title. So they're good at golfing. In other news, no one cares that much about golf. In national news, someone people actually care about. I mean, we care about Lee University. I'm not saying I don't care. Some people don't care that much about golf. I'm happy for Lee. Lee University does a great job. But
how's that foot tasting?
That's fair. That's fair. Pat Summitt, the basketball coach for the Lady Vols, Pat Summitt is going to receive the Freedom Award from POTUS.
The Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, all this time to remain captive by the Vols and to finally be able to have your freedom declared. The president pardoning Pat Summitt could be some of the biggest news that we have ever reported here.
Well, speaking on president, is that we have been reporting for a while that the GOP could not choose a candidate.
That's right.
But they have chosen. And they have chosen Mitt Romney.
That's right.
And so this is still one of the largest headlines across the country. And I thought that what we would do would be to give you a chance to discuss it. This is weighed heavily on.
Well, we discussed this last week.
Well, I wasn't here.
I know.
Okay, in other news, did you really discuss this last week?
Eric Wilbanks sat in that very chair and broke that news.
Why didn't you change it on the show prep?
I didn't want to embarrass you.
I hate you most days. In fact, almost every day since I've known you, I've hated your guts.
I'm very sorry. Let's do some Hollywood news.
All right.
First up, Snooki, still pregnant. In secondary Hollywood news, Dick Clark, at the age of 82 years old, has passed away.
Yeah, this is a sad moment. Obviously, Dick Clark is a... he's been a mentor to so many people in the field. We would probably not even be here without Dick Clark in some way. I think he was a mentor to Sir Dan Howell at some point. And one day we're going to report the passing of Dan Howell, and we'll be very sad. And sort of why Dan hasn't been. Dan hasn't said much lately. Have you noticed? Dan has been keeping kind of a low profile.
I think Dan's kind of doing what Johnny Carson did. When the great retires, it's best to just slip away, and then you will always be great.
Dan has told us directly that he does not watch this show.
That's right.
Because he spends time on his boat and doing all the other important things.
He was a little worried that his heart would not be able to stand the awesomeness.
Right. But he's sad about Dick Clark, and I think a lot of people are sad. Now, here's the thing, is that generations have grown up with Dick Clark as the voice of New Year's Eve. And so as we were looking through the interwebs, all the tweets, all the Facebook posts, everybody's saying, New Year's Eve will never be the same again. But there is one that comes after Dick Clark. And he's been working with Dick Clark the last few New Year's Eves, and we actually have him on the show.
That's right. Well,
today we're going to go live.
We're going to go live to Times Square, which is, I think, apropos, to get sort of an up close and personal take on this entire affair. So let's go live now to Ryan Seacrest in Times Square. Ryan, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Well, listen, Ryan, we know that you must be very...
Wait. Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
I hate this segment.
Does this jacket make me look taller?
Not so much. It didn't work for Steve Hartline, and it doesn't really work for you. Well, listen.
Wait. How's my hair?
Your hair looks fine. It's great, really. So tell us.
Oh, I hate it so
you
much.
You were mentored quite extensively by Dick Clark as an anchor person on the radio. How does this news make you feel?
Promotion. It also reminds me of the time Paula Abdul got fired.
The puppet gets the Whitney today.
This isn't good. Can someone please explain to me how we've had a show this long?
Well, it's us or Matt Ryerson. That's why we have a show.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, Ryan Seacrest, let me ask you this.
Seacrest works. It was a good show.
Tell us. Can you give us some idea of what it was like to work with Dick Clark?
How's my hair?
It's great. Really, it's great.
We got a great show coming up. Aaron Weatherford from the Chamber is here. Annie from Habitat for Humanity is here.
We have something else.
Right now?
Yeah.
In this segment?
Yeah. Where else did you want to do it?
Oh, all right.
I mean, right?
Yeah, we got to do something to get away from this.
All right.
From this puppet.
This weekend, Sunday, is Earth Day. And as a special treat for you at home, we thought let's explore Earth Day a little bit, find out where it comes from, and what we can all do to sort of help celebrate. So here we go live now to reporter, hard-nosed journalist.
A day when millions of people across the globe come together to celebrate our planet. The origins of Earth Day trace back to the turbulent times of the 1960s, an era when free love ruled, the Beatles invaded America, and Pluto was still a planet. The emerging consciousness of environmentalism was born, and in 1970, U.S. Senator Gaylord Nelson founded the first Earth Day. Earth Day is now observed by more than 500 million people in 175 countries, all teaming together to fight for the protection and good of Mother Earth. But many of us are left wondering, what can I do to help? Here's some tips. The average consumer uses nearly 21,000 sheets of toilet paper every year. That's a lot, and toilet paper doesn't grow on trees, even though it usually ends up there. Making toilet paper kills nearly 7 million trees each year. One option for us is to simply use recycled toilet paper, but many think that that's coarse and rough. Another option is to simply stop using toilet paper altogether. Another tip for Earth Day is to conserve water. The average shower uses 8 gallons of water every 5 minutes. A great way to save water is to turn the shower off while soaping up, or simply stop bathing entirely. You can always use extra deodorant and hope that no one notices. Finally, stop drinking bottled water. It actually takes nearly 2 gallons of water just to make the plastic container for a 12-ounce bottle of water. Instead, next time you're thirsty, just get a glass and drink a nice, cool, refreshing glass of tap water. We love our Earth. We should do what we can this Earth Day and every day to protect it. Otherwise, we might have to start celebrating Mars Day. I'm the Hollywood Slinky. Back to you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. You know, I'm always surprised at the amount of detail that you get when you're out in the field.
Well, you know,
on these journalistic adventures.
One of our field reporters has to get into detail, and it's not the puppet.
That's true. It's not the puppet, and it's not me. But I'm very glad that you do that. That you get out there. So, Earth Day. What are you doing? What's your family doing to celebrate the Earth Day?
Well, we're probably going to go to McDonald's, and then on the way home, we'll probably stick all of the trash into the McDonald's bag, take a good look around, and then chuck it out the car window.
That's a good idea.
As we go. And then, then I thought maybe we'd go to to the park and run around and put, soap in the fountain.
We'll be right back. We're going to commercial. That's what we're going to do right now.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Have annoying biting and stinging insects taken over your yard? Volunteer Rid-A-Pest can get it back. Make your yard a no-fly zone with Mosquito Guard. Volunteer Rid-A-Pest will eliminate these annoying pests, and you'll be able to work in your yard, have a pool party, a cookout, allow your children to play outside, or just sit outside and enjoy the evening. Volunteer Rid-A-Pest has developed an extremely effective treatment program that treats all shrubs, bushes, trees, and other foliage where mosquitoes and other biting, stinging insects live and breed. This material will not harm your plants or trees and leaves no harmful residue. This treatment program is safe for use around children and pets, but the best part is it's 100% guaranteed. If you are not 100% satisfied, Volunteer Rid-A-Pest will retreat for free until you are satisfied, or after 30 days will cancel their agreement and refund 100% of your money. Give Volunteer Rid-A-Pest a call for a free no-obligation estimate. Phone 472-7736.
Discover great local programming right here on WTMB East Tennessee Television. Tune in weekday mornings at 6:30 a.m. for Tennessee Valley This Morning to find out what's going on in your local area. Watch East Tennessee Shopper with Joe and Kim Palo live every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Be caught up in all the latest sports action. Watch In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson, Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. with replays at midnight. All this and more on WTNB East Tennessee Television.
Have you ever thought about a career in television broadcast sales? Well, if so, WTMB might just be the place for you.
We're looking for a person that is self-motivated and energetic to join the WTMB family as a broadcast salesperson.
If that sounds like you, give us a call at area code 423-472-8892 or email us at joe@wtmbtv.net or kim@wtmbtv.net. We look forward to hearing from you, and let's get started today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what two of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, it took about 25-30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
It's a very simple process, and it's well worth it.
And we're back. You're watching Tennessee Valley This Morning. I'm Rob Alderman. With me, as always, my stalwart traveling companion, the Hollywood Slinky.
And joining us, a very special guest, Rob's Gout.
Okay.
That's true. That's still going on.
That's still an issue.
A couple weeks ago, it was an issue. Then it went away. And then last night, it came back.
Maybe the problem is this show. You weren't here last week, and you were feeling better. And now you're back, and so is the gout.
You might be onto something. We may need an investigative journalistic report.
What we need, those of you at home, camera one. I need you to transmit this to a local doctor who knows something about gout that would be willing to come join us next Friday morning.
That's a great idea.
To talk about Rob's
Preferably a Dr. Puppet, I'm
if
sure,
you
right?
know, it doesn't have to be a Dr. Puppet.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a Dr.
Puppets know a lot.
But if you are out there, doctor, who can address this gout issue, I mean, I've been doing the right things. I've been drinking water.
The cherry juice?
Drinking cherry juice. I started this celery seed cherry extract thing. I've also been taking like the for real doctor stuff, you know, like the actual anti-inflammatories and stuff, and they work, but then it comes back. When it comes back, it's way worse.
Question.
And so we got to figure, I'm not eating a lot of meat.
Why wasn't this in the paper?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like this is a big issue. It's been going on for a couple weeks.
Speaking of things that we'd like to go away that hurt,
Thank you.
Joining us today is Aaron Weatherford. Aaron is from the Bradley County, Cleveland City Chamber of Commerce, where they do commerce-y things in a chamber.
Welcome to the show.
That explains your knowledge of what we do.
Well, that's why you're here.
That is why I'm here.
It's time for you to educate me.
Apparently, and teach you phonics.
Why don't you do us a favor, Mr. Weatherford, and explain to Camera One out there, why does the chamber exist? What is the purpose? We have chamber people.
Yeah.
Other people come
You
on the
both
show.
are members of the chamber.
The Nancy Neals come on the show.
There's a lot of them.
The Gary Farlows come on the show. The Melissa Woodies come on the show. But no one ever says to them, why chamber?
Why chamber?
But you, sir, you're the one.
Why would you wait for me? Why wouldn't you ask?
Because you can answer this.
Well, and I think, aren't you the, what is your position over there?
I'm the membership director.
The membership director. Well, tell me, membership director Aaron Weatherford, why should I join the chamber?
Well, fortunately for you, you're already a member.
No,
so,
I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
You didn't know that, but surprise, you are. Everyone, yeah, see. The membership of the chamber. You are. We are. The chamber is funded by its members. We have about 750 so members, all compiled of majority of local businesses. And that's how we're funded. So what we try to do for our members is create opportunities for them to expand their business, whether it be through networking, advertising, through expansion, small business, committees, that kind of stuff. And we offer a wide variety of different opportunities for them to get involved. We try not to let too many, things, if they have an excuse about you don't have that, we try to facilitate that as soon as we realize that it's an actual thing that people want to get involved with.
Let me ask you this.
Please do.
When you were recruiting me to join the chamber, you were like, Rob, please join the chamber because my boss will be mad if you don't join. And then you were like, I was like, maybe. And then you called me back and you were like, Rob, please, they're threatening to fire me if you don't join the chamber. And I was like, I don't know. And then you called back and you were in tears and you said, please, I'm not meeting my quota right now.
I'm not.
Please, please, please join the chamber. Let's pretend, though, that conversation didn't happen and you actually gave me a good list of reasons to join the chamber. What do you normally say to people? What's your elevator speech, if you will? What's Aaron's elevator chamber speech?
So the 15 seconds I just spent to explain to you.
I don't want to back up and actually analyze those 15 seconds.
Well, I'll just repeat it.
Because if I need to analyze them, here's what happened. Camera one. Since he's decided to get sassy.
Do we talk to camera one?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Camera one, we said.
Allow me. You are out of line.
I'm out of line.
We're hard-nosed journalists.
I can tell.
Here's the deal. We said to you, why should someone join the chamber? And then you said, we're funded by our members.
And then what did I say after that?
That I was a member.
And then after that, you said, and I'm a member. Then he said he wasn't a
Everyone's
member. Then I told him he was a member. Then after that, you said, we do some things.
I still don't know how I'm a member.
Do you have any guests after me?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, we saved the important guests.
I can only imagine what kind of energy and cruel antics you have prepared for.
There's nothing cruel.
Well,
here's the thing. Okay,
Debate.
you said networking.
If asking you questions that you, in your role at your job, should be able to answer,
the chamber
is us being cruel, then sure, we're very cruel men.
You hear this? I'm telling you.
Okay, networking. How do we network?
You network through networking coffees. We have one each month. We also are starting our after-hour networking events for those who aren't necessarily early risers, but they can get off work at 5 o'clock.
What are some of those events?
Those events are basically held and sponsored by local members. We have one coming up, I believe it's May 17th. You can check our calendar online for that, clevelandchamber.com. But we post that on there. And
what's that event going to be?
It's going to be at the Chamber, sponsored by Comcast Spotlight of Chattanooga. And they will be in here. They have a local representatives in the Bradley County area. And we're projecting about 50 people at that event. We don't normally have those, so this is kind of a start back after about a year and a half.
What if I wanted to sponsor an event? What if the Alderman Group wanted to sponsor an event?
Well, first of all, I encourage that. Because I love what you do. I love what you do.
But what would we do? What's a good example? That's a good question, right? What's a good example of what we would do?
All you would do is basically you would have the floor to talk about what you do to about 50 or 60. We're averaging that. What you do if no one's ever heard of you. Okay?
Do I bring in food?
You could bring in food. You could bring in beverage, food and drink if you prefer. If you have it at the office, at the Chamber building, we have a kitchen fully stocked for you, not of food, but prepared to you to bring stuff in. But and it's about an hour and a half, and you have about 15 minutes just to kind of talk to everybody, and primarily it's for the networking opportunity and you to be just you and no one else.
So if we want to do an after-hours networking event, you'd encourage that?
I would encourage you to do a networking after-hours event.
That'd be super fun.
Well, now you have said that even though I have no reason to or desire to, that I have become a member of the Chamber against my wishes, and given that that is the case, I think that I would like to host one of these.
You would?
To promote myself.
Oh, yourself.
And the things that I do as a member of the Chamber.
I believe that what young Master Weatherford was saying is that Life Care Centers of America is a member of the Chamber, and that as a member of Life Care, you are also a member.
Don't correct me. We're live.
The light bulb's actually clicking on right now. He's realizing this as of right now. The dots, they are connecting.
Don't correct me. We're live. Now, after all these years, don't correct you. We're live. So what else has the Chamber got going on?
Another thing we have going on that we're pretty excited about is we just started up our Young Professionals Association again. We did it last year, and it was a big success. And then we took kind of a break over the end of the year. But we're coming back. We have a big event coming up next Thursday at Leisure Time Bowling at 7 o'clock.
I haven't been in Leisure Time Bowling.
I have.
Neither have I.
How is it?
I have opinions.
Everyone has them.
Hey, so camera one, can somebody get us the owner of Leisure Time Bowling in here? Because based on Slinky's reaction, we need you. We absolutely have to have you on this show. So you gotta.
So you're more than welcome to attend that event. It's for young professionals.
It's going to take place at Leisure Time.
At Leisure Time.
Are we going to bowl?
It's an after hour. We're bowling.
What is the cutoff? Like, at what point does the Chamber decide you are old?
Age 21 to 40.
So at 41, the Chamber says you're old.
Now, if you're in at 40, we'll probably give you maybe 2-year leeway. We'll have to discuss that, but we don't have that issue right now.
So we've still got a couple of years.
That's what I'm saying.
We got
2 years. 2 years that we can still be young professionals. We ought to take advantage of this.
I'm thinking so.
Does it cost money to come to the young professional events?
Just if you bowl and eat, but you're more than welcome to attend.
Who's going to be speaking at this?
Well, the after hours, right now we're not doing speaking engagements. We're really just trying to give it more of a networking involvement. So if you're a young professional, a member of the Chamber, and you have an after hour, or if you have an evening on next Thursday, come out, talk with probably 20, 30 of other local young professionals who are kind of starting their job, looking for another job, that kind of thing. So we're all kind of going through the same thing.
Wouldn't it be great if we could broadcast, if we could record our show next Thursday night
at Leisure Time?
Live from Leisure
Time? At the Leisure Time.
Oh man, camera one. This is our heart's desire. We want to record live from the Leisure Time Bowling. We're going to see if we can make. Would you be open to that? Would the Chamber be open to that? Could we broadcast from the Leisure Time?
You know what?
You could find out, can't you?
I could probably find that out for you. You'd have to ask them. Their doors are always open for the community, but you guys.
Aaron, if you can make that happen, Rob pledges to you.
I do, huh? I do.
For every person that you can get to show up at this event with us broadcasting, recorded live, that he will say Bradley County Chamber of Commerce.
Cleveland Bradley
Cleveland Bradley
Commerce.
County Chamber of Commerce on our show once for each attendee next show.
I do. Listen, his word is law, and he just
In
made
one
a pledge
show?
for me. Yep. If you can get permission,
It could be 60 minutes.
right?
Listen, Rob.
If you can get us on that, if you can get us to leisure time to record our show, then I promise, my vow is that for every attendee, I will say Cleveland Bradley Chamber of Commerce.
Would you have the capabilities to do that?
We have the technology.
You have the technology.
You don't
and
have
you
to
could
worry
do that.
about this.
I don't know. I feel like I
It's
should.
an iPad, my friend.
It's an iPad. We can do pretty much whatever
I
we
could
want
record
to.
the whole thing with this.
It's leather bound.
Our show is like the Cleveland Daily Banner. You can fold us up and take us anywhere.
How'd you like them
I
apples?
didn't like apples at all.
How'd you like them apples?
I hated those
That's
apples.
what we
what a lot of
call a
people-
metaphor, yo.
You know what a lot of people don't realize?
Please tell me.
You've been with us for a long time.
How? I've been here
on the podcast.
like
before we ever had this show.
I've been here about 12 minutes. I'm at my cap,
Before,
aren't I?
listen,
Yeah, so am I.
before we ever had
all
this
are.
TV show, we had the podcast.
They were there.
And you used to come on the podcast.
I used to.
So share your favorite podcast memory.
Do these people listen to your podcast?
Yeah, most of them.
Really?
There's only like 8 people that watch this show, and they're almost all podcast people.
That's pretty
And the
sweet,
rest
though.
is our family.
Family. And just occasional YouTube surfers. What's that about?
What is this? What is this? What's this puppet?
This is kinda
We've
weird.
got
What's
kind of
this
like
puppet?
the puppet's got a pretty big following.
Yeah.
You know?
And he never changes. I've noticed that. The puppet, different people, same jacket.
You know,
Is that weird to anyone else?
No, it's
It
not
might
that
just be
weird.
me.
What was your favorite podcast moment?
My
Since we've
favorite podcast
We've been
moment.
buddies now for 3 years.
It's lapsing on time. I'd say that my favorite podcast was when we talked about Harry Potter was about to come out, and we talked about our favorite magic movies, I think it was, or
Oh, that was a good one.
all of the
talking
Harry
about?
Potter podcasts. The Harry
Yeah.
podcasts are all great.
Well, you're about to go away from this
for
show,
good.
and I'm sure that you're thankful.
Very thankful.
But we're
for
going to
many
have you
things, and
back,
that's one of them.
and hopefully we're going to record live from your event next week. I hope.
I'll see what I can do.
I hope this hasn't been painful.
Not at all.
I really hope it hasn't been. But before we let you go, we always ask 4 questions of every guest.
Is this a lie?
No.
No.
Oh, I
this
guess
is
I
true.
should say, yeah, you do, because I watch all your
Listen,
shows.
We
We
believe
knew you didn't watch.
You do. I know. Every
Listen,
guy.
when I
asks
asked you, would you be on our show, and you said, yeah, I guess, I knew you hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, no, I see it in the YouTube thing when it pops up. I'm like, what is that WT? Oh, that's Robin. Okay, and that other guy.
Yeah.
So what are the
Ryan-
questions? Let's go.
Ryan's going to ask you 4 questions. Are you ready?
No, probably not.
Question number 1. What is your favorite movie?
Of all time,
Yes.
I would have to say, you're going to cry when I say this, A League of Their Own.
Okay.
It's a really good movie.
League of Their Own, that's good.
What movie do you think is the greatest film ever made?
Goonies.
Good choices so far.
What movie have you seen more times than any other?
Ooh. I see a lot of movies. I don't know if I
More
could
than
answer
any
that.
other. There's got to be one.
I have to answer that one.
It's funny
Yeah.
because this is the one that should be the easiest.
It's not. But well, for people who that's my go-to movie. I have several go-to movies. One of them is all of the Star Wars trilogy. I watch all
That's
the Star Wars.
understandable.
I watched all of them. Okay, Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom. I've seen that one about 100 times.
So
Okay,
probably that.
I guess if you had to pick one, that'd be it.
Okay. All right.
All right, and lastly, what do you think is the funniest film ever made?
I don't know ever made, but one of the funniest lately. I love Elf. Elf is kind of
You
a,
do
We
love
get,
Elf.
you know
I'm a
what, we
big
get
Elf
Elf
fan.
a lot.
I'm a big
People
Elf
love Elf. People
true.
love Elf.
It's a year-round favorite.
You know what's interesting is when I first saw that movie, and I liked it the first time I've seen it, and I've seen it a lot of times. When I first saw it, it didn't strike me as like this thing is a classic, but it's really getting there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really getting there.
Watch it over and over. There's a lot of one-liners you just can't help but throw out there, you know.
I noticed you post on your Facebook a lot of Elf quotes.
I enjoy Elf.
So
Sue me.
Well, if people want to know more about the Cleveland Bradley
Bradley.
Chamber of Commerce,
Look at you go.
where can they go?
They can go to clevelandchamber.com, or contact our office at 472-6587.
Well done. And you can contact this man if you want to host it. If you're already a chamber member.
If you are a member.
And you want to host an after-hours event like the Alderman Group's going to do.
Yep.
Then you contact Aaron Weatherford. If you are not yet a member.
Call me.
You need to call Aaron Weatherford.
I'm there.
Aaron, is the chamber a member of the chamber?
We are actually the only business in town that's not a member of our own self.
We'll be right back on Tennessee Valley This Morning.
That's weird. That's just straight up weird.
I don't know why.
That was the fifth question. You only get
bizarre.
4.
That's fair.
Why should I give you a
We're ready for a commercial whenever you are.
Have you ever thought about a career in television broadcast sales? Well, if so, WTMB might just be the place for you.
We're looking for a person that is self-motivated and energetic to join the WTMB family as a broadcast salesperson.
If that sounds like you, give us a call at area code 423-472-8892 or email us at joe@wtmbtv.net or kim@wtmbtv.net. We look forward to hearing from you, and let's get started today. Have annoying biting and stinging insects taken over your yard? Volunteer Ridipest can get it back. Make your yard a no-fly zone with Mosquito Guard. Volunteer Ridipest will eliminate these annoying pests, and you'll be able to work in your yard, have a pool party, a cookout, allow your children to play outside, or just sit outside and enjoy the evening. Volunteer Ridipest has developed an extremely effective treatment program that treats all shrubs, bushes, trees, and other foliage where mosquitoes and other biting, stinging insects live and breed. This material will not harm your plants or trees and leaves no harmful residue. This treatment program is safe for use around children and pets, but the best part is it's 100% guaranteed. If you are not 100% satisfied, Volunteer Ridipest will retreat for free until you are satisfied, or after 30 days, will cancel their agreement and refund 100% of your money. Give Volunteer Ridipest a call for a free no-obligation estimate. Phone 472-7736.
Discover great local programming right here on WTMB East Tennessee Television. Tune in weekday mornings at 6:30 a.m. for Tennessee Valley This Morning to find out what's going on in your local area. Watch East Tennessee Shopper with Joe and Kim Palo live every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Get caught up in all the latest sports action. Watch In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson. Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. with replays at midnight. All this and more on WTMB East Tennessee Television.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what 2 of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, it took about 25-30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
It's a very simple process, and it's well worth it.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. And joining us now from Habitat for Humanity is Annie Kenworthy.
Hello.
Annie, what do you do at the Habitat?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
I'm glad he asked too.
I'm glad
because I didn't have a question prepared.
What's your title?
I am the Community Development Coordinator.
How's that coming along?
It's going great.
Awesome.
I did the switch. I was the volunteer coordinator when I came on 2 years ago, and so made that switch this past year.
Did you start as an intern?
I did not, no.
How did you get involved?
How'd you get involved?
Well, it's good stuff. It's good. This is good stuff. That's how journalists do what they do.
To the bottom of this.
You want to know? Okay,
Yeah.
so I went to Lee University, and I graduated in December of 07. I moved to Mexico shortly after that.
Was that exciting?
I speak a Spanish. It was.
Why'd you move to Mexico?
Because I speak Spanish and wanted to hone down on the skills.
But there's a lot of places you could go
I
to
eat
speak
true.
Spanish. You don't have to.
So said my mother.
You don't
eat
have to go to Mexico to.
I know, but if you want to learn the culture, you got to go
What-
where the people
what did you
are.
do?
When I
when
want
you
to
were
learn
down
the
there?
culture, I go to Raphael's Italian restaurant.
What did you do in Mexico?
Well, I worked at a lime exporting company and worked in their advertising department and did some translations for their international customers who spoke English.
That's really
How would
funny.
you say to camera one, Rob and Ryan are awesome in Spanish?
I don't know that awesome is a translatable.
No, it is. It's awesome-o.
Rob,
Yeah, come on.
Rob
give us.
y Ryan están muy awesome-o.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome-o.
I know yesterday was high five day, but come on, sky high on that. Muy awesome-o. Muy a lot. We're very awesome-o.
And I also worked out of a church and did English lessons for some of the older college students there that did speak English but wanted, like me, to sharpen their skills. But the plan was to stay for 6 months. I got really sick, came home after 2 months.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, is right.
So this was a short trip to Mexico.
It was.
You drank that water.
It wasn't the water.
And you weren't
it was
supposed
the
to drink it.
peppers.
The peppers.
They
Wait
not
a
like-
minute. Jinx.
The peppers like very much, but my intestines were like, no. So
Really? The peppers made you sick?
They're called chile de pin, and it is the hottest. It is the hottest pepper. They're like black. They're really small. I gotta wear gloves to even pick it off. I use my hands a lot when I talk. And you grind them up and you put them in everything. Casseroles, mole, the eggs. I mean, I loved it, but the intestines are no bueno.
So now you don't eat it anymore.
Tapped out. I'm done.
And you came home to America where things are bland and deep fried.
Oh yeah. I mean, I lost like 11 pounds. It was no good. But then I started working for Pepsi Mid-America. I was a key account manager and hated every single day of it.
Wow. Well, there you go. And that led you to Habitat?
No, then
Just the fact that you hated your other job?
No, my dad lost his job. I'm from Southern Illinois. He worked for Circuit City, and whenever they tanked,
No bitterness.
No, we've moved on. He took a job with Nike in Memphis, and so I thought, after quitting my job, where do I go? What do? I have no community. Cleveland welcomed me with open arms.
And you'd already been a student here before, so
I
you
had,
kind
so
of
I
knew
knew
the
a few
town.
people that actually lived here that weren't, the here today, gone tomorrow college students. So was working back at Jenkins Deli again. It was very humbling. And then I started volunteering at the Caring Place and was crying to the social worker about this wonderful job I'd read about in the newspaper, the Cleveland Daily Banner. Goes with you everywhere. And
You like that noise?
it was really
That's
good.
going to be my new... Anytime somebody says the Cleveland Daily Banner, that's what I'm going to do from now on.
It's good. And so I told her about the job, and she said, well, what was it? And I said, it was a volunteer coordinator with Habitat. And she started laughing and said, did you know that my husband is the executive director for Habitat? No, I did not, Heather. No, I did not. And so she made a little phone call to the husband and said, look at her resume. He said, I don't have a resume. She said she turned it in. He said, it's only email. And so I did the bypass. We had an interview, and the rest is history. That's how I got to Habitat.
What a fascinating
That was the
story.
most fascinating opening of a... We haven't even asked a question about Habitat
Is that
yet.
code for boring and long?
No.
That was up there with last week when Steve Hartline was making us cry about the birth of radio in Cleveland.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a fantastic opening. So you worked at the Caring Place.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're at Habitat.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think about Habitat?
I really, really do love my job. On and off camera, I'll tell you the same thing. Love my job.
Well,
the people are great. The community is awesome.
So what do you do?
Okay, so I do all things Brush with Kindness related, which is a new home repair program. It was a year in the making, but we finally got it honed down, I think. And so just like new construction, we offer home ownership to low-income families through zero-interest loans and volunteer labor. But we also have a repair program that qualifies family for the same thing. So low-income families that are unable due to age or income do repairs on their home can apply for Habitat, and we can send volunteers out there and get the work done. We focus mainly on two things, and that's ease of access and safety, meaning wheelchair ramps, decking, things like that, and roof repair. So it's been.
So that's your big new thing.
That's our big new thing. Yes.
If you were to tell somebody in the community what Habitat's all about, you know, you're having to explain Habitat as an organization, what would you say?
Well, I would say that we are a nonprofit Christian housing ministry, and we really have transitioned into what we call community developers. So we do the new construction thing, we do the home repair thing, but it's really, gosh, we do the restore thing as well, which is a donation center. So we're like a mortgage company, we are a retail company, family services, construction company, repair company.
And if people haven't been yet, you go to the restore?
I have.
I love the restore. The restore is awesome.
I've not.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird. It's a little weird when you first walk in, depending on the time of year, because it's like walking into like Christmas Village. You know, sometimes. And so the first time I went to the restore, it was, you know, if you haven't been around Christmas time, you wouldn't know this, but there's someone who apparently, and she's good at this. She sets up.
Debbie Flower.
Debbie Flower.
Debbie Flower.
Okay, and she sets up the whole front of the restore with Christmas trees that are decorated in different themes and stuff. So when you walk in, you sort of feel like you're in Gatlinburg or something, you know? And you walk in, it's sort of Christmas land. But then you turn the corner, and it's all sorts of great stuff that you could use to repair your home, to do, you know, your own repairs or decorate your home. Or, you know, they've got desks and chairs and TVs and radios and tile and, you know, all sorts of things. And so, you know, if you're thinking about repairing your home, you know, and you're pretty handy. You know, your dad especially pretty handy.
My dad is pretty handy.
You know, your dad comes in every once in a while to be handy at your house. You go to the restore first and check it out, because you're going to get a great, you know, I do all my work from a restore desk, you know, and in fact, I'm planning to remodel my entire kitchen this summer exclusively from restore. That's my goal. Is like even if restore at the moment doesn't have what I want, I'm going to not repair that part and wait, because I want to have an entirely restore kitchen repair. So,
I like that.
You know, that's what they do.
That's awesome. Yes, I've banned myself from going there over my lunch break because I buy something every time.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Now, you guys have a major event coming up, right?
do.
Habitat does,
Yes.
and it's coming up, and this is what you're here to talk about.
Yes, it is Saturday. It is tomorrow. And it's called the Bike to Build, which is a community bike ride, not a race. And it's fully supported with police support, but we offer a 13, a 30, and a 60-mile bike ride. And so all the funds go toward the building of a new Habitat home. So our lofty goal was at 80 grand, and we have we're in the $55,000 range raised so far. We have over 200 amazing volunteers already registered, and probably in the 270 mark for riders who are going to come out and do the ride.
Is it a race or just a ride?
It is not a race, it is a ride. Yes, just 13, 30, and 60, open to riders of all levels.
Where does it happen?
It starts and ends at Bradley Central High School, and it's not too late to register online. You can go to habitatofcleveland.org, or you can find us on Facebook, Bike to Build 2012, and get registered there. It's very simple.
And it's the number 2. It's bike, the number 2 build.
No, it's TO. Yes.
Online, if you're
Don't correct me, this is live television.
But the people need to know.
All your posters
All
are
your
Bike
posters
to
have
Build.
the number.
Yeah.
What posters?
Are you kidding? There's posters out. There's
It's TO
things.
Build.
Okay. Hey, you're the expert.
That's right.
You're the expert. But let me ask you this.
Yes.
Let's say somebody doesn't get online. You know, they're watching the show right now. And they're like, whoa, I need to be in this bike thing. And so they run upstairs, but they find out that the internet's not working right now.
You can come and see us.
Can
register
Can
in
people
person.
show up the day of?
You sure can. Yes, you
And
can
register?
absolutely show up the day of and register. Mm-hmm.
So the idea is you drive to Bradley High School with your bikes.
Yes.
And then people leave there. Which way do they go? Where are they going to go?
What do you mean?
Where are they riding?
Oh gosh, there's all. I mean, all the routes actually uploaded on the website as well, so you can check it out, see where
Which
we're
party?
going to go.
What are you going to do?
I am the MC for the day. I'm the girl with the mic.
So there's a lot of hanging around
The start
a
and
stage
finish
as
line.
well.
Yes. So that's what I'll be doing. And if you do show up the day of, like you mentioned before, you can do that. Registration starts at 7:30 in the morning. So be there at 7:30. have well, the day of, it jumps to $75 registration fees. So have a check in hand, and they will get you on your way.
What if we registered tonight on the interwebs? What is the registration
It is
fee?
$75. The day before and day of is.
So it's $75 right now.
Right now it's $75.
To register.
Yes.
To ride.
Right.
But it's a long ride, and it's all safe with the police having made sure that the cars aren't going to run you down.
Right.
Right.
And in part of that volunteer number that I gave you, around the 200 mark, is a lot of them are turning directors, and they are committed volunteers who are out on the routes at a critical turning location with painted signs in the color of their route. So, you know, the 60-miler red arrow people go left, the 30-mile will go yellow. Right.
Gotcha. Well, let me ask you this question really quickly. You know, we're running out of time, but tell us about the Spirit event.
The Spirit Riders.
This
Heard
is
about that?
It's the first year.
It's so cool. Well, I have to tell you, Brian Welch is an amazing volunteer who came out of the woodwork. And back when I was working at Jenkins Deli, I got to know him. On Monday nights when I worked, he came in and got the same thing every Monday. So finally I was like, dude, who's the meal for? I know it's not for you. He said that it was for his son. He was going through some treatments because he had like a terminal illness. And so I said, man, that's really cool. Like, I'll be praying for him. And then he mentioned that he was a bike rider. And at that time, I said, you should do the Bike to Build. So he said, I think I want to give back to the community because people have given us so much with my son's illness. So he really wanted to give back and was a volunteer last year. Well, this year, he is a volunteer course director and is heavily immersed in the biking community and knows a lot of really cool people. So he had this idea of Spirit Riders. And it's just a means for someone to ride in memory of or in honor of a loved one. And so there's actually a few teams in place already. One is called Jeff's Hope, and the other one is Danny Jenkins. And so anyway, both of those people are avid riders who have a story to tell.
Well, do you have anything else
Just
that you want to say?
Bike to Build. It's really cool.
It's a great event for a great cause.
It's a rain or shine event as well. So if the storm clouds come, we're going to ride anyway.
Well, Ryan's got 4 questions for you before you go.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Lay it on me.
All right. What do you think is the greatest movie ever made?
Greatest movie ever made?
I love the way she just acted surprised, even though she sat here and
heard us tell Aaron.
I don't know that
we
you
ask
asked
everyone
that
these questions.
You warmed him up there. He's like, "What's your favorite movie?" And then you got into that.
Okay, well, we'll start with that one.
All
Then.
right. I like to change it up for the folks at home.
What's your favorite movie?
For sentimental reasons, Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
What do you think is the best movie ever made?
Ever made? I really don't know. I don't really know the answer to that question.
In your opinion, the best movie?
Have you seen Citizen Kane?
No, I've not.
Didn't say Citizen.
It's definitely Citizen Kane.
Well done. That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
What movie have you seen more than any other?
Probably Pride and Prejudice. There was a while there where I watched it probably once a week. The cinematography is awesome.
Have you read Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies?
Not the zombie part so much, but the Pride and Prejudice, yes.
All right. And then the last question is, what movie do you think is the funniest film ever made?
I am old school Tommy Boy.
That lets me know how old you and I are. She's old school Tommy Boy. Wow.
I was current school Tommy Boy.
Yeah, we are. Well, Annie, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody get out tomorrow and support Bike to Build and register and take part in this great event. We'll be right back after this with the preview review.
Have annoying biting and stinging insects taken over your yard? Volunteer Ridipest can get it back. Make your yard a no-fly zone with Mosquito Guard. Volunteer Ridipest will eliminate these annoying pests and you'll be able to work in your yard, have a pool party, a cookout, allow your children to play outside or just sit outside and enjoy the evening. Volunteer Ridipest has developed an extremely effective treatment program that treats all shrubs, bushes, trees, and other foliage where mosquitoes and other biting, stinging insects live and breed. This material will not harm your plants or trees and leaves no harmful residue. This treatment program is safe for use around children and pets, but the best part is it's 100% guaranteed. If you are not 100% satisfied, Volunteer Ridipest will retreat for free until you are satisfied Or, after 30 days, we'll cancel their agreement and refund 100% of your money. Give Volunteer Ridipest a call for a free no-obligation estimate. Phone 472-7736.
Discover great local programming right here on WTMB East Tennessee Television. Tune in weekday mornings at 6:30 a.m. for Tennessee Valley This Morning to find out what's going on in your local area. Watch East Tennessee Shopper with Joe and Kim Palo live every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Get caught up in all the latest sports action. Watch In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson, Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. with replays at midnight. All this and more on WTMB East Tennessee Television.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what 2 of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much, and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, it took about 25-30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
Very simple process, and it's well worth it.
Have you ever thought about a career in television broadcast sales? Well, if so, WTMB might just be the place for you.
We're looking for a person that is self-motivated and energetic to join the WTMB family as a broadcast salesperson.
If that sounds like you, give us a call at area code 423-472-8892 or email us at joe@WTMBtv.net or kim@WTMBtv.net. We look forward to hearing from you, and let's get started today.
I'm Byron Winters with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Contact me for all of your business insurance needs. From general liability to workers' comp, commercial auto, and business umbrellas, Landmark Insurance has you covered.
And we're back. You're watching Tennessee Valley This Morning.
That's one of my favorite shows.
That's one of my favorite shows, and it is time for the preview review.
That's right. This is the part where we look at the movies that are starting today, and we tell you if you should see them based on what we think of the previews, commercials, trailers, and things we've read online. We have not seen these movies.
We haven't seen them, but we are experts, so we can tell you if you should see them or not.
All right, let's judge these movies.
I'm ready to judge these movies, and the first one I want to judge is about a cute little monkey.
All right, The Lucky One, starring Zac Efron. What? He's a cute little monkey.
Oh, he sure is.
All right. The Lucky One, U.S. Marine Sergeant Logan Tybalt returns from his 3rd tour of duty in Iraq with one thing that he credits keeping him alive, a photograph that he found of a young woman he doesn't even know. He learns her name's Beth, and he learns where she lives, so he shows up at her door and ends up taking a job at her family-run local kennel, and despite her initial mistrust, a romance begins to occur. This is a movie about a guy who comes back from Iraq to stalk a woman that he doesn't know, and somehow, because it turns out okay, it's not stalking, it's love.
Exactly. Now, this is why this thing is, obviously, this is done by the guy who gave us The Notebook and a few other things. And he is the modern day writer of things women love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And here's the thing that we're getting into is you know when you're at work and they're talking about sexual harassment, and it clearly states in the handbook it's sexual harassment if someone doesn't like it? That's how it is with these films. Is it stalking if the guy is sort of creepy and smells bad and lives in his parents' basement?
Right.
It's not stalking if he's a handsome young army sergeant who risked life and limb to find out about this intriguing woman in a picture, and it becomes a meaningful romance.
It's very confusing for us as men.
Yeah, we just want to know.
Yeah,
I just want to know. I mean,
but personally, I don't think stalking, even when it ends well, is okay. I think the whole thing is just creepy. I'm going to hate this movie because nothing about it actually looks good, which makes me sad because I had hoped that Zac Efron would maybe make a movie that would help him recover from his, child star.
I am also giving this film a hate mostly because I don't like these sorts of films. The Notebook may have been Sir Dan's favorite, but we can't go for the lucky one.
What Dan will love is The Chimpanzee, which is about monkeys. It's a Disney nature film. It's a documentary. No, thank you.
I am also giving this film a hate because, number one, I love Disney, but I dislike Disney's preachy Earth Day things. I like films that make me cry because I feel something, not because they force me to cry. And I get the feeling that a story about a little chimpanzee who suddenly has to fend for himself in the jungle is going to be a big, huge tear fest.
There you go.
So I give it a I hate it, but Dan is going to love it.
All right, so we'll see you next week on Tennessee Valley This Morning. I'm the Slinky, and I love Cleveland.
I'm Rob, and I love Cleveland.
So let's all love Cleveland together.